everyone, my name is Ina Yulo, and I'm the BI and Big Data Community Manager of BrightTalk. As part of our Technology Beyond Imagination series, I'm here with Naveen Miglani, who's the co-founder and CEO of SplashBI. So welcome Naveen, and thank you for joining us.
Thank you, Ina, for having us.
So my first question for you would be, what is the future of BI?
Oh my gosh, what a loaded question in four words. As far as BI is concerned, that is the epicenter of our universe. I mean, whether it's any industry that you really look at, it is the epicenter. It actually helps you take decisions faster and really increases the operational efficiencies of any organization. If you look at, if you read what the pundits are saying, the pundits in the US are saying that the GDP of the United States will increase by 1.5% just because of the ability to have data and the fingertips, if you will. Gartner is predicting growth of 7 to 8% year after year on this alone. So imagine the productivity gains and the benefits to the human race that BI can actually bring to the table. Now, BI is to some it's artificial intelligence, to some it is predictive analytics, to some it is machine learning, machine language. I mean, there are many components of BI, but what is important is how do we take our data and be able to dissect the data. That is what this whole industry is able to do, and the ability for us to take faster and efficient decisions with speed, and also to the extent where we can involve less humans. That is where this is going. Do you have Internet of Things? We've heard about analytical things. You'll be able to, at some point in the future, you'll be able to have a toothpaste delivered to you at your home because the system already knows that you're about to run out of a toothpaste. So that is the future of BI. Sounds scary, but it'll really make your life better.
Not scary at all, in my opinion. And you brought up some really interesting buzzwords there. So I want to focus on AI and machine learning. So what will be the implications of these two specifically on BI?
AI and machine learning, they're actually components of BI itself, in my humble opinion. Pundits may say something different, but that's just me. Data is growing at speed and with volume. How do you now dissect that data? I may have 40 years of experience, however, I still will need to use my calculator to crunch the numbers. With AI and machine learning, we're able to learn what our patterns are and actually are able to take decisions, because we can put those decisions based on what we have done in the past into algorithms where we could take such decisions at a faster speed than what humans can do. Now, obviously machines are not taking over the human life as such. However, if we can take some of the predictive stuff that we normally do, that itself is huge productivities and will take the decision making into the next level, and humans can focus on the bigger picture, if you will. So that's where AI and machine learning is really coming into play.
Very interesting. And another thing I wanted to talk about is, here at Cloud Expo, we've heard a lot about digital transformation. So specifically on the BI sector, what do you think the implications would be of digital transformation and vice versa?
Digital transformation in the BI sector. If I go back to 25 years ago, when I started in this space, the first company that I started working for, it had the word called digitization. We're digitizing our records. That was a fancy word at that time. What does digitization really mean? Well, it's nothing more than improving process. Actually, it helps you get cleaner data. So, for example, if I have accounts payable and I have a salesperson who's actually working, and the salesperson is commissioned based on what they sell and what they collect, now either I could let the AR person essentially go get that collections and so on and so forth, or I could actually empower my OSR, the sales rep, to actually help me collect that particular check that is due to the organization. Now, if you look at that, to do that process, you have to digitize that process. Now, you can digitize that process, but to get that relevant information to the OSR, you need that information in by way of a tool. So the BI sector and digitization, they go hand in hand. One improves data, the one gives you the data. That's the difference. And I cannot see them separating from one another.
Interesting that you talked about, new processes that organizations have to learn. So how they all say you can't teach an old dog new tricks.
Right.
So I think that what organizations are looking at to now as well are the different challenges brought about by digitization or digital transformation. How do you think organizations can, tackle these new challenges?
Organizations are going to be pounded by data on a constant basis. The key is, how do you get data clarity in this world? Digitization will help you with some of that data clarity, and data clarity is becoming more and more complex because no longer are we reliant on one or two systems. We're not reliant on the best of breed. So the question really becomes is, how do we take that data clarity that we have, and how do we take efficient tools that we have, combine them together to make it effective for the organization, because data is coming at a lightning speed. So really, it's all encompassing. It's overwhelming, but it's all encompassing. And the best thing is to dissect these different things in different ways and do it in a fashion where it takes the human intervention away by way of AI and by way of machine learning, and really help you monetize. If you can keep this in mind, how do you monetize your data? The rest will come very clear, because what I'm really saying is, do I have my requirements clear? I hope that answers your question.
No, it definitely does. And so my next question would be, as someone who has been around the block a few times, do you have any tips for organizations who are looking to adopt or implement a BI solution?
I would, again, rely on the concept of have your data clarity. Have your requirements very clear in terms of what you're trying to achieve as such, because that is what is going to help you accelerate your digitization process, if you will, reacting to your customers, because at the end of the day, without that, you cannot be competitively have that advantage that you need. And decisions which we're taking days to take, now decisions have to be done in minutes and seconds. So the reality is, you have to have that data clarity. You have to have the right tools in place. Now, what are those tools? That is totally dependent on organizations, whether they want self-service, whether they want reporting self-service or visualizations. Do they want to remain in Excel? Do they want to have big data, Hadoop, if you will? That really is reliant on your specific use case that you have. But the reality is, you must have the data clarity, and you must have monetization in mind. How do you monetize your data? Because that is the effective way of taking decisions. Let the data speak the decisions for you.
You touched on self-service BI as well,
yes,
which is, I think, very interesting, with how every company now has to be a data-driven organization. That means it's not just the tech guys who need to know how to run their BI tools. So what is the role, though, now of IT in a self-service BI environment where everyone needs to be able to access this data and make actionable insights really quickly?
Well, to get the actionable intelligence, you cannot do one without the other. Just because now you have self-service reporting or visualization, dashboards, and so on and so forth, doesn't necessarily mean that the IT job is redundant. On the contrary, IT and self-service users actually work hand in hand. You do want to empower the users to have the self-service component of what they're trying to do. However, you do need the IT folks involved to make sure that they're looking at all the different data sets that are out there overall, so the users are actually going after the right data, and the users are being pointed to the right direction. So really, one cannot do without the other. Yes, it does take the burden off of IT, but the IT burden has also increased as well. So therefore, it's good that self-service has happened almost 15, 18 years ago, and I only see that by empowering the self-service user, by providing the user by self-service, if you will, it actually gives the user the capability to take the decisions in less than minutes and seconds, because now the data is there. He or she does not have to go request that data from the IT, and IT can focus on the bigger picture.
And is this something that you think companies are actually embracing?
Yes, my company is.
Okay.
Absolutely, companies are embracing, because imagine if for a simple report, I have to now go to IT to have that developed. That's an IT cost spend.
Yes.
And I, as a function user, understand my use case much better than what the IT folks would understand. So it's very easy for me to slice and dice the data. Now, if there is complexity in that data, I obviously will get a hand from the IT folks.
Yes.
But yes, absolutely, I agree with the businesses having to react as fast as they need to. The users must be empowered. Imagine if you are a financial analyst and you're having to run to the IT department all the time to take decisions for you. Well, the stock market is this today, what do I do? And it's like, well, you're the wealth manager, you figure that out.
Yeah.
So the wealth manager, or whether it's anybody for that matter, must have the decision-making power, and that can only happen by tools, effective tools, which are user-facing and self-service.
With your company as well, though, when you have new starters coming in, do you find that this generation of professionals are very much data-driven, like compared to, I guess, 5-10 years ago?
Oh, not only data-driven, but they're mobility-driven, absolutely. I mean, what I see is that people would rather text than call. This new generation, they're absolutely hungry for data, and they rely on data to give them that decision. So capitalize on that hunger of data and the hunger of what they have to offer by way of data. Provide them the data and give them that capability to essentially help the organizations grow. It'll only make your business case much stronger and will help grow the organization much faster. I mean, today, mobile content, earlier it was all on the web, you would be on the desktop. Today, most everyone consumes their data on mobile. I mean, I don't do banking anymore by going into the brick and mortar shop. Absolutely, mobility is what is driving that trend, and data, because data is available on mobility, is even making it much more better. So absolutely.
And very interesting that you brought up, banking, because that's why this whole fintech industry has even, I think, sprouted. Is that analytics has played a huge tool there, especially data visualization as well.
Yes, indeed. I could not agree with you more. I could go onto my E-Trade portal, or I could go onto my TD Waterhouse portal and see what my portfolio is doing. I can set up triggers that would inform me. Again, those are analytics that are actually being smart analytics, which is actually getting me the data. The key again is you have data. You have massive data. How do you make that smart data? That's the key. And that is what most organizations are trying to do, is how could we provide that smart data to the different organizations for them to be able to take those decisions effectively and to help them grow and to increase their market share.
And when you talk about using data to prove and make different business decisions, I want to talk about ROI right now.
Uh-huh.
So where are we seeing ROI when it comes to purchasing a BI reporting tool?
ROI, in all honesty, it's a relative thing for me.
Okay, interesting. Why do you say that?
I say that from a perspective of how do you measure an ROI if you actually have a big BI product, a big BI project, which is going to cost you $60 million. By the time you really actually get that implemented, it's going to be 4 to 5 years in the grand scheme of things, and the technology has already changed. So really, ROI is, in my books, is measured in, has it really helped me monetize my data? The tools that I'm buying today, will they help me monetize? Will they help me take better decisions? And most of the things that we do today, we look at 3 months, 6 months turns versus long terms. Yes, you must have a long-term strategy, but the ROI has to be, what is my cost of the product that I'm buying? How quickly am I able to implement that product? And how quickly am I able to get those meaningful decisions out of that? And how quickly is this organization really spending the money on innovation? Because I guarantee you, by the time I'm out of this conference, in 3 months from today, there'll be newer technologies that'll be out. So you have to keep up with technology. So ROI is very hard to measure. However, it really is measured based on the spend that you do. So my recommendation is, we're living in the best of breed world. So the faster the ROI you can get, the better you are.
Perfect. I think it's all the time we have for today, Naveen, but thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you so much.
Thank
we
you.
appreciate it.